What a dope episode of the Faraway Paladin. This episode really did like a few things. It was, I guess I'll put it in a couple of different buckets. It was confessions, it was understanding, it was feelings, it was a moment where alignment was made, and it was Will standing up. Like, this episode definitely had a lot. The thing I'll touch on the most, or the thing that I'll kind of touch on the most here, is Will has finally gained the blessing. He gained the blessing of the goddess of light, and he also gained the divine torch through the goddess of light. And he has swore his fealty, and he was able to meet in, I guess, like the god realm or whatever. But he was able to make a pact and a deal with the goddess of cycle and death and rebirth, Graceville, and she's essentially the goddess of light. And Will was able to meet her in the, I guess, the plane to where souls travel, and he had been there before, which is the interesting thing, that his instincts and his instinctual kind of feelings towards what god to swear his fealty towards leaned towards the goddess of light as it was already, because she was one of the ones that had helped him already get from the earth to where he is now. And she was the one who had basically taken him, not by hand, but taken him to pass on to this world, which I thought was really interesting. The other piece that was really interesting as well was because he's been making his daily prayers with Mary every single day, without fault, every single day. His power, his communion, his oath, his hope, everything was like to the nth level, because he had already previously taken that time to, without fault, every day submit prayer. And if he continues to do that, assuming he is able to pull out of his situation he's in right now, if he's able to do that every single day, he knows the benefits that it'll be gained, and by his fealty through the goddess of light, and what it'll get reciprocated by, the goddess's protection. So I just thought that was all really cool. Then Stagnate, the god of the undead, realizes that he was also blessed with the torch of light, I think is what it's called. And essentially it's just like the god's blessing, so you have like the god's blessing, and then like a stigma of what the god put on him. So like, like you can get like a stigma on you, but through that stigma he gained the power of the torch of light, and he used that to, for a moment, overcome Stagnate, and then Stagnate kind of went off in like a cloud of dust. He went off, and Will was waiting for him to attack him, but instead, the goddess of light came and pointed Will in the right direction, letting him know, like, hey, he's not going after you, he's going after your heart. So he went after Blood and Mary and Gus. So the episode ended with him beelining it all the way to back to them. So hopefully he's able to make it in time. I don't think he will. Which really sucks for him, because he's going to have to probably witness his family, or his current life family, be destroyed by Stagnate, which I'm hoping doesn't happen. I'm hoping that he's able to make it there in time to at least save one, if not all of them. But the way we know anime, the way we know stories go, that probably won't happen. He'll probably witness something he doesn't want to witness, and he'll probably, in a fit of rage, unleash his holy powers bestowed to him, and hopefully destroy this god Stagnate, this asshole god Stagnate, which I'm hoping that is what ends up happening, regardless whether he is able to save them or not. But what a really, really good episode, though. Like, what a really good episode. Like, earlier I told you guys, like, some of the things were understanding and alignment and compassion. He was finally, Will was finally able to come clean to Gus and to Blood and to Mary. And he was finally able to let them know, like, hey, I was actually a reincarnation. And what spurred this moment was, when the episode first started, you had Gus succeeding at taking on the Stagnate and almost destroying him with like some serious freaking magic. But then Gus says a red flag, hey, we're good for now, and the red flag comes up and he gets cut in half, and they ruin everybody, and Will takes them all back to the church or the place that they stay. And Stagnant is like, hey, I'm gonna give you a day to think about my deal, which is become an undead, live with them forever, become part of my army. And when Will wakes up, he lets them know about all the guilt that he was feeling, all the helplessness that he was feeling. He called himself garbage, several times, and he let them know, like, hey, I was a reincarnation, and I did nothing with my past life. And, at some point my parents died, and, probably in some tragic accident or something. He's like, I don't even remember if I cried. He's like, I was such a piece of crap, in my past life. And as this is happening, Will's bawling. Because he's not trying to repeat the actions of, his past self. And he's just losing it. And, Mary slaps him, she slap-adapts him, to get him back into it. And she explains to him, like, you're not the same. And based on who you are and what you've shown us, you would have cried. Your fleeting memories, so the memories that are leaving you, you must not remember them, right? Because we know you, and you would have cried. And that's, that's essentially when he makes the pact or vow to himself that he'll protect his family. And then, the rest of it, which I already talked about, ensues to where he takes on Stagnate. He gets his, he's able to, use the sword use a sword that is able to, like, the god-killing sword or whatever it's called. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but he uses a sword. And then he meets the goddess of light in the god plane. In that god plane, though, it's awesome because you're able to see the world, like our Earth. You're able to see his world, and you're able to see other worlds. And she explains to him that the souls are constantly traversing back and forth, which is like how they keep life going, on planets. That's how they keep it going. And they're able to, like, kind of constantly be moving and fluctuating souls back and forth and having people traverse, the multiple planets, which I thought was a really neat thing. And then she lets him know before she lets him go back, she let him know, like, now that you've made peace with death and with life and with the cycle of life, I'll see you once again when your end is met. Which is funny enough that he sees her again because she, leads him by example later on. Overall, though, I thought this episode was freaking fantastic. I thought this episode was really, really, really good. Like, one of the best episodes of the season. Like, it hit all the right strings with me, all the right emotional strings, all the right action strings, all the all the things that it was trying to accomplish. I felt like it hit a home run this episode. Really enjoyed it. Really had a good time watching it this episode. I'm really rooting for Will. I really hope he makes it there to at least save somebody. But if he doesn't, he's grown so much, and I'm ready for him to go on his adventures with the protection of the Goddess of Light. Like, so good. So good. I can't wait to see next week's episode. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments down below, though. Let me know what you guys think about this week's episode. Let me know what you think about, Will's determination and his pact with the Goddess of Light. And let me know what you think's going to happen next week. He's going to make it? Is he not going to make it in time? Are they going to die? Are they going to live? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you guys go check out our full reaction. If you missed it, if you like reaction videos, go check that out. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 5. Peace out, my friends.